Ireland's Classic Hits Radio. Eddie Rowley is with us from the Sunday World. Eddie, I always seem to call you when somebody passes away in music. It's becoming more frequent. And this time Liam Payne from One Direction. And even our listeners today, sending kids to school, devastated. A real shock, isn't it, for everyone?
Oh, completely devastating, particularly for his poor parents. I mean, he's 31 years of age. And all the lads then in One Direction, and all the fans who, you know, he was part of their lives and in their formative years. So
the teenage years, growing up, listening to their songs.
You know, he was with them all the way. He was some would say he was the first boyfriend for many girls. They take ownership of pop stars, and he's my guy. And it's unbelievable because it just came out of the blue. I know he had issues through the years, but he was posting on social media just shortly before he died, and everything he looked great.
Seemed to be
in great form. Seemed to be happy in his life with his girlfriend. She'd gone home. He'd been there to see his pal Niall Horan performing Buenos Aires, and so obviously for Niall it is absolutely devastating.
I know.
He wouldn't have been there had he not gone to see Niall. So I just can't imagine what Niall is going through.
Yeah.
And, you know, Niall is a very strong character. I admire the way he has navigated the phenomenal fame and success he's had. You know, he's handled it really well.
He's amazing. I have to say, Niall Horan is amazing. But this is going to really hit him hard. We obviously got to hang out with him there a week ago. But I guess when somebody passes away like that, like, we don't know the circumstances. We don't know whether it was an accident or what has happened. I'm sure we will hear this in the coming days. But when somebody passes away like that, and it's so sudden, and he's so far away from home, from the family as well, being in Argentina, it's just horrific. And poor Cheryl Cole now having to break that news to their son, who's, I think he's about 7 at this stage.
He is.
Yeah.
It's their son there, he is. And obviously for Cheryl as well, like our whole world has just collapsed. I know they were on good terms, and, you know, obviously having a child together, and that seems to have worked out really well. So yeah, she will be absolutely devastated by that as well. I did hear that perhaps some of the lads from One D are actually going to travel to Buenos Aires to travel home with his body.
That's after giving me goosebumps, I have to say, because it reminds me of when poor Stephen Gately passed away, and the boys from Boyzone were there with him in the church, staying overnight the night before his funeral there on Sheriff Street. I still remember it to this day, and it being broadcast on Sky News. And Sky News have been all over this story as well. I wonder now, will this be a funeral that will be televised?
Oh, I imagine One Direction were like the Beatles, you know, they you know, in terms of their success, the fan mania and the worldwide fame. I mean, that is a front page news story on every newspaper around the world, and on all the major TV networks and all on social media, because One Direction were the biggest boy band in the world. So yes, I suppose it depends on whether the family appeal for privacy at that time, and I imagine they probably will. But I mean, it's going to dominate the headlines and the news for weeks to come now. Okay,
well, Eddie, thank you so much for taking our call. Once again, taking a call under very sad circumstances. I wish this wasn't the case, but it just seems to be happening this way. And I'm sure we'll hear in the coming days exactly what happened there at that hotel in Argentina with the passing of Liam Payne. Thanks so much, Eddie.
Cheers, Trina.
Eddie Rowley there from the Sunday World. It's Ireland's Classic Hits Radio.